Spencer Fernando. Many Canadians are right to believe that Trudeau has no real loyalty to Canada, no loyalty to Western values, and no loyalty to Western civilization. Yes, when Trudeau said that Canada, I've told you guys this a million times, when Trudeau said that Canada has no core identity, he was mirroring, he was projecting. That's him. He has no core identity. He doesn't. Not Canada, him. Anyway, let's hear what Spencer Fernando has to say.
Justin Trudeau and the Liberal government knew China was interfering in our democracy. They knew other political parties were being targeted. But instead of standing up for Canadian democracy, Trudeau did nothing. Why? Because he thought the interference would help him win. From the start, Trudeau has been a fan of what he calls China's basic dictatorship. Because of this, many Canadians are right to believe that Trudeau has no real loyalty to Canada, no loyalty to Western values, and no loyalty to Western civilization. All Trudeau cares about is what helps him stay in power, even if that means selling Canada out to a brutal communist state. That's yet another reason why Trudeau and those who enable him must be crushed at the ballot box.
So that sums it up pretty nicely right there. And we're going to go through a bunch more stuff. But I'd just like to add to that, that Trudeau, I don't think he sees himself as a Canadian. He sees himself as a citizen of the world. I think he is a true globalist. He's not interested in Canada. He says Canada has no core identity. He says Canada is the first post-national country. First post-national country. He just declared this. Nobody said that. Nobody else said that. He said that. He didn't ask Canadians about it first. He just said, oh, no, Canada's the first post-national country. Again, pure projection. He's not a man of Canada. He sees himself as a man of the world, a man of the globe. He is a true globalist. And when you see him in that light, what he does makes a lot of sense. Trudeau said nothing, did nothing about MP's recruitment of Chinese students. So, Prime Minister was made aware of Liberal nomination meeting incident by CSIS, that's Canada's intelligence agency. Foreign interference inquiry hears. So, there is a foreign interference inquiry right now in Canada regarding Chinese Communist Party interference in Canada's elections of 2019 and 2021. Now, there was another one before, and what happened with that was that Trudeau appointed somebody he called the special rapporteur. And everyone went, special rapporteur? What the hell's that? Well, it turns out that a special rapporteur is a person who is a lifelong friend of the Trudeau family and will say, yes, Trudeau did nothing wrong and there's nothing to see here. It turns out that's what a special rapporteur is. But now there is a public inquiry into this. And we're finding out a bunch of stuff. So, and none of it good. And I just have to say, it's just scandal after scandal with Trudeau. And we just can't get rid of him. And he won't step down. It's maddening. Right, let's get into this. Among this week's many disturbing revelations about the Trudeau government's official indifference to Beijing's interference operations during the 2019 and 2021 federal elections, what might come as the biggest shock to most Canadians is just how easy it was for Chinese high school students to be bussed in to vote for Beijing's favored candidate in a Liberal Party nomination race in the Ontario riding of Don Valley North. All right, the candidate was Han Dong, whose last-minute admission to Justice Hogue's public inquiry into election interference that he'd personally recruited the students was a shocker too. So was the Canadian Security Intelligence Service brief to the effect that the students appeared to have been coerced by a proxy of China's Toronto consulate and warned that they'd face reprisals if they refused to go along. Now, the thing is with the Liberal Party nomination process, you don't even have to be a Canadian citizen, right? Just anybody can which seems like kind of a big opening for foreign countries, foreign intelligence services to take advantage of, doesn't it? Seems a bit strange. Trudeau, the Liberals, they don't seem to see any problem with it. If it helps China, the Liberal Party saw nothing amiss about the foreign students showing up to vote en masse for Dong, who subsequently stepped away from the Liberal caucus to sit as an independent, while a melodrama derived from leaked CSIS reports about his conduct sorted itself out. So the only reason anybody knows about this is because there was somebody at CSIS leaked the information. The Liberals knew about this all along, didn't tell anybody for some reason. Why wouldn't they tell somebody? Strange, isn't it? The help always seems to go to the Liberals for some crazy reason. I can't imagine why. The Chinese Communist Party prefers Trudeau to lead Canada for some reason. Again, I can't imagine what would be in it for him. The party's rules say that anyone over the age of 14 who is ordinarily resident in Canada, don't have to be a citizen or permanent resident or anything, ordinarily resident in Canada, so a foreign student, for instance, can vote in a party nominations and leadership race, which is crazy. CSIS also says the students not resident in the Don Valley riding were provided with falsified documents by the Chinese consulate. I mean, come on. Resign, Trudeau. Resign, for God's sakes. He won't, though. He won't. But none of this will come as a surprise to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau because he's known about all of this from the beginning. CSIS alerted him to the Don Valley North goings-on 4 years ago. Trudeau said nothing about it, and he did nothing about it. In fact, here's from 2022. Trudeau says he was not briefed on federal candidates allegedly receiving funds from China. So this is another issue. But this would go to say that he's definitely being briefed on this stuff. I mean, also, he's the prime minister. Obviously, he would be briefed. Of course, he denies it. Foreign interference cost Conservative Party up to 9 seats in 2021, O'Toole tells the inquiry. So the former Conservative Party leader from the last election, 2021, Erin O'Toole. Now, he's saying that it cost the Conservative Party up to 9 seats. That wouldn't have changed the balance of power, but, that's 9 that they know of. And so what, even if it's 1? It's serious. A prime minister should take it seriously, not hide it. Not keep it to be his and Chairman Xi's little secret. Again, it's amazing this guy hasn't resigned. Let's see. Speaking in Toronto on Wednesday, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau dismissed O'Toole's suggestion that foreign interference cost the Conservative seats as something coming from, quote, someone who lost an election, trying to look for reasons other than themselves. Trying to look for reasons other than themselves. So he's fine with it. He says, well, it didn't change the election, so what? Who cares? Everything's fine. Okay. Also, this look for other reasons than themselves. This is the guy who blames everything that he doesn't like. Every time he gets into trouble, he starts talking about far-right extremists, far-right MAGA from the United States as being somehow influencing everything in Canada. He also likes to just talk about events in the world have the events in the world have affected the economy, as if it has nothing to do with him. Canada's spy agency collected intelligence suggesting foreign funding for both the 2019 and 2021 federal elections. Let's see. Canada's spy agencies gathered intelligence on foreign funding possibly being in play for both 2019 and 2021 federal elections. The Foreign Interference Inquiry heard Thursday. High-level summaries of classified information tabled at the Hague Commission suggested one piece of intelligence gathered after the 2021 campaign on a distribution of funds was deemed so significant, it wasn't just shared within Canada, but with the country's international security allies. That's money coming in from China to influence elections in Canada. Another batch of intelligence reports summarized for the commission said there were likely at least 2 transfers of funds totaling $250,000 from Chinese government officials in Canada, possibly for foreign interference related purposes. Yeah, I wonder. That's what they know of. It's from Melissa Lantzman, Conservative Party, Canada. Trudeau official says interference from Beijing wasn't worth warning Canadians about because it wasn't in English and targeted the Chinese community. Is this a joke? Chinese Canadians are citizens of this country. They vote in our elections and they deserve to be protected. This inquiry is proving to tell us what we already knew. This government didn't, doesn't, and won't take protecting Canadians seriously.